and the Judicial Conduct Tribunal into Judge President Selby Mbenenge today continued to probe the involvement of the Office of the Chief Justice in crafting Andiswa Mengo's complaint. Later in the day, the focus turned to how the complainant shared sexual images that were sent to her by the Judge President to some of the High Court secretaries in the Eastern Cape. Let's get a fuller understanding of what unfolded today. Ziniko Mhlaba attended the proceedings. He's with me in studio this evening. Ziniko, good evening to you. Let's start with the involvement of the office of the then Chief Justice Raymond Zondo. How did they come into this picture, and what exactly was the line of questioning?
So we had a first witness who took the stand, and that person was the former legal advisor to the Office of the Chief Justice, and of course she was the one who received the complaint, and therefore the advocate who was representing Judge Mbenenge was Advocate Skakane SC, who really, probed the involvement of the Office of the Chief Justice in filing that complaint. And his point of departure was the fact that, it seemed as if, according to the testimonies of Ms. Mengo herself, the Office of the Chief Justice went beyond the call of duty in putting together that statement. And of course, one of the things Mr. Skakane really proved to that tribunal was the fact that the legal advisor was supposed to be receiving and investigating whether that complaint was filed within the right format, ended up typing and assisting Ms. Mengo in terms of crafting that statement, not just, advising her in terms of what needs to be in the statement, but also the actual typing itself. Yeah. And that was the problem Advocate Skakane, really exposed, but also the fact that then Advocate Skakane really asked, what are the responsibilities of the Office of the Chief Justice in terms of receiving complaint? Is it just to receive it and then take over in terms of the processes of the judicial service? Then ask the witness at that point, why did you end up even going beyond working hours to an extent where you end up assisting her in her hotel room? And that was the problem. And obviously, towards that debate, Advocate Skakane directed a pointed question to her that, would you admit to the fact that you ended up doing things that you're not supposed to be doing as an arbiter because you received the complaint? You cannot therefore be involved in packaging the complaint itself. And that was what was confirmed. So that was the better part of the morning session between Advocate Skakane and the former legal advisor of the Office of the Chief Justice. Yeah. The second part then looked at how the complainant ended up sharing information with other secretaries. So
let's pause there for a moment, because there is a sound bite to the first part that you've just explained. Let's take a listen to that for a moment.
And you heard Ms. Mengo saying that you had told her, that you had called her.
Yes.
To tell her that she needed to redo this complaint.
Yes.
And then soon after that, you happened to discover a copy of the complaint on your personal folder. Is that correct?
Yes, because initially I was looking for it. I was searching for it in the JSC folder that I had created. Mm-hmm. Yes. So as and when I was going through my personal folder, which was in my laptop, I then discovered a complaint where it was named Miss Andiswa Mengo. When I opened it, I saw that it was the complaint, the initial complaint, but it was not commissioned. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And when was that?
When was
that you went through that process of finding this?
I think it was on the 13th of January, because I immediately sent it to Ms. Songa to give it to present it to the tribunal.
Okay, so to run through that morning of the 13th of January, you watched the evidence, you heard Ms. Mengo talking about you phoning her to tell her to do a new complaint.
Yes.
You looked at your laptop.
No, when I looked at my top, I was not looking for it specifically. Mm-hmm. I just came through it when I was looking for something else. That's when I discovered that this is where I had saved it. Mm. Yes.
Well, interesting proceedings there. Ziniko Mhlaba, time is against us. Unfortunately, we're going to have to end it there. But look out for the fuller story, as Ziniko Mhlaba is going to bring that to us later this evening.